Hello everybody, welcome to my channel on physics. Today marks the first episode of this physics channel and we're going to be starting on the first chapter of kinematics. This is typically the chapter that physics classes start at, so that's why we're starting it first. The main thing to know about mechanics is it's all about the movement of objects. So we'll start right from the beginning, and that kind of starts out what scalar and vector quantities are. I'll divide this into two right here. Scalar quantities are those that just have magnitude, whereas vector quantities are those that have magnitude and direction. And we'll get into a little bit more of what that actually means later. So one of the first things that you learn in scalar and vector quantities is distance and displacement. So I'm sure basically everyone here knows what distance is. It's really just how far apart two objects or 2 points that you're comparing are. So that means if we started with a car here and we moved in this path, and then here, distance would just be how far the car went. It would be what your car shows in your mileage. On the other hand, displacement is a vector quantity. And in the case that we have the car with the same path from before, displacement would actually be the smallest possible distance between the 2 points. So from start to end, that would be this distance right here in the dotted line. So the main thing to know here is distance is only going to have magnitude. So magnitude is only how far apart these 2 points are, whereas displacement is going to have magnitude and direction. So for displacement, you have to say, for example, if this distance is 2 miles, you have to say it went 2 miles to northwest or northeast. The next thing is speed. So I think everyone knows what speed is. It's just how fast it's moving. In physics terms, it's actually distance over time. That one's pretty easy to do. The next one is, in the vectors, is velocity. And this is really similar to speed. The only difference is its displacement over time. And so you can see, because it has displacement, this is also going to have a direction. So that's why it falls into the vector category. Whereas speed is only going to have the distance over time, which is only going to have the magnitude, and there's going to be no direction attached to that. So for example, when you're in a car, the car showing you going, for example, 120 miles per hour. It doesn't have any direction attached to it, whereas if you were to try to find the velocity, that you would have to say you're going 120 miles per hour north. And the final one for vector quantities is acceleration. And this is, you can think about it as a step up from velocity. So this is going to be the velocity in a given amount of time. This is also going to be a vector quantity again, because velocity has direction, and so acceleration is also going to have direction. It's important to know that you can have acceleration without having any speed. We'll go into this in later videos, but you can have acceleration without having speed, for example, if you're just turning. So in that case, your direction is changing, so it doesn't matter that your magnitude is not changing, because it's a vector quantity. We'll go into that a lot later though. These are the main things that you really need to know to begin mechanics. You need to know scalar and vector quantities and what that means in certain formulas and certain situations, and a lot of times when you're doing multiple choice, you have to make sure you have your units and directions attached. Thank you.